Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 2 finale, The Invasion. This was an epic season finale, and I cannot wait for Season 3 to start up. I love the last season finale we had. Season 1 had a great one. It was, just this all the stuff that you kind of wanted to see, we got to see. Splinter versus Shredder, the Turtles fighting against the Kraang. We got the actual Technodrome last season. All that stuff was really cool. And then in this one, it was just stuff that I was not expecting one after another. Like, just them getting split up, I didn't expect, which led to some really epic moments, especially the stuff with Leo versus all the footbots. And then after that, we got Shredder versus Splinter again. And then that lasted for, like, once that started, it was pretty much throughout the rest of the episode. And I did not see that coming at all. And it didn't exactly end the way I would have expected. Like, the season finale in general did not end the way I thought it would. And it was just amazing. And I can't wait to see what happens. But they talk about stuff that ends up happening. Like, Leo and Donnie are arguing in this episode, and Leo's like, hey, we have to create a new base of operations, or we need a second base at least somewhere outside the town, so that if things go crazy like they kind of are now because there's a giant invasion, we need to be able to get the heck out of here. And Donnie's like, hey, we can't do that. And really, I think Donnie was right. In the end of the episode, he was, of course, upset about not leaving the city, but really Leo was like, we don't need to leave the city. He was like, we just need a whole new base of operations, which they couldn't really just run off and leave the entire city like that anyway, because they kind of would have just left everyone else to get killed off, and it's the Turtles, it's not what they do. But we got to see the turtle mech. Of course, I wasn't surprised by that at all, but that was amazing. The base got destroyed, so wherever they're gonna be, it's gonna be sort of makeshift, at least for maybe the first half of season 3, who knows. But at least for a while, it's going to be sort of a makeshift base. It's going to be the Turtles, Casey and April, and Splinter's kind of off on his own, so I'm guessing that during season 3, he's going to try to figure out where they went, and considering he's a great tracker, because he found Leo, he'll probably be able to find him, or they'll kind of run into him when they go back into the city at some point. But there's so much. The base getting destroyed, Irma being a Kraang was kind of surprising. I'm hoping that in season 3, they actually find her, and it's like, she was actually a real person, but she was replaced by a Kraang at some point. So that's what I'm really hoping, because Irma is an actual classic character that is in Ninja Turtles, so it would kind of suck if they changed that about her, because I know they change stuff around for this show, like that's what any incarnation of the Turtles does. But I'm hoping that they do actually keep her as a person, because they put her in the show, so I'm hoping that she does actually end up being a real person. They somehow find her and rescue her from the Kraang in season 3. But for now, she was just a Kraang spy who was played by Gilbert Gottfried, which I thought was kind of interesting, and he was the Kraang subprime, if I heard him right. But that was a really cool fight between him and Master Splinter, and of course Splinter won that, and he got crushed when he was sort of monologuing. But that was a really cool fight. It was really surprising that Irma ended up being a robot, of course. I love the stuff with Raph and Casey in the beginning of the episode when they were looking for Karai. And that was the only thing that kind of sucked about this. I was really hoping to see more of Karai. But at least we got to see her, and she does end up saving Splinter at the end of this episode. And I was hoping she would save him when he was fighting against Shredder when he was starting to lose. And I thought she would end up saving him right as the pipes were about to fall on him, when Splinter was kind of going to give him sort of the last blow. And she doesn't come in until he ends up being thrown into the water. But that was really cool, and she doesn't stick around, and I was like, that kind of sucks, because I want them to talk to each other. And she tells him, like, hey, I can turn human again, which we don't see her do in this episode. She doesn't really have any reason to, but there could be a reason that we get an answer to later. And it's like, she can't do that all the time, it's only some of the time. But she did save him in the end, and she kind of nudged him to wake him up, so he's off on his own by the end. I'm really, really hoping Leatherhead comes back, because it looked like he was really gonna die, and he's already old as is because of the crazy time warp stuff from Dimension X, so he's much older. But I love the save he did when he rescued Splinter when he was about to get that death blow, and he just came in, and he was just, I was kind of laughing, because when he got Shredder and he was biting him, it was like, well, that's pretty intense, because he's like sort of throwing him up so he can catch him in his mouth completely, and then he just slams him on the ground like 4 or 5 times and just tosses him. And I thought it was over, and then Splinter comes back again, and then he takes him out with like the pressure point stuff, and then knocks him down, and he falls into the water, so he disappears. I'm really hoping we get to see him again. I'm assuming since they don't sort of flat out say like, yeah, he's dead, we'll get to see him come back in season three, and maybe that's how Splinter will be able to find the turtles, because they'll both work together. Like, we have to, I have to find my friends, you have to find your sons, so of course I'm going to help you, like he does in the season finale. So hopefully they team up again, and that's a pretty epic combo when you think about it, because Splinter can pretty much beat anybody, and so can Leatherhead. He's giant. When he goes into his crazy rage mode, he just destroys everything, which we even got to see. I love the moment when he first comes into the episode to help Splinter, and Splinter has to yell at him like, that's enough. I thought that was actually a really cool moment too. But I'm hoping they team up in season 3. God, what else? Seeing everyone from Shredder's crew was definitely pretty cool when they teamed up on Leo, which I think was probably one of my favorite parts. It was definitely one of my favorite parts. I don't know if it was my favorite. It's so hard to pick between that and the stuff with Splinter versus Shredder. It's always hard to sort of choose against that. But I love the fight that he had by himself. Like, once he got split up, it was just Leo for the entire episode, like just himself pretty much. Like, once that happened, he was just fighting footbots, and he was just taking them down. He was doing some really cool moves. I love that. And then he gets jumped, and he goes into like a crazy rage mode, and he takes out 3 of the guys, and then of course Shredder comes in and slashes him, and so he goes down, and they take him. And then it was kind of interesting to see that stuff happen. It was a really amazing fight. And then the same thing with Leo when he had that crazy rage mode. Splinter had that too. I was thinking like, man, he kind of just went Super Saiyan after Leatherhead got knocked down. He had like all the pipes on him. They just blew off like nothing. I thought that was kind of funny. Like, that was the only thing that kind of got me, like, slightly unrealistic. That, and when he kind of hit Shredder at the end with like that crazy shockwave type thing, it looked amazing. Like, I can't deny the fact that I loved when he did both those things. But I thought that was kind of funny when he just like blew the pipes off of him, and he lost it. Like, he already lost his sons. He just missed saving Leo. He got saved by Leatherhead, who got defeated, and he's in that crazy mode, and he took on Shredder again. But that was really cool. And like, when he was about to get taken out, when he was in the sewer, and he hit him with that crazy air concussion type thing, that was really amazing to see. But overall, it was definitely a great season finale. So it ends, Leo still knocked out. Casey doesn't really know whether or not his father and sister made it. April's dad got hit again. That really sucked. I was like, that's just messed up to see that happen to him. And also, with everyone having been turned, they perfected the mutagen, so it was instantaneous. People weren't turning into whatever they were near, like the squirrels and stuff like that. It was just boom, and you're just really, everyone honestly kind of looked like gum to me, and just slightly gross. But you get hit and you turn into the Kraang stuff, or you basically into Kraang. All the ground that kind of got hit would have like crystals shooting up. So even though they technically did leave the turtle mech there in the city after they beat Kraang Prime, if they ever, well, of course they're gonna go back, but when they go back, there's gonna be sources all over the place, and who knows what Donnie will be able to come up with in season 3 if he's able to sneak into the city and take stuff out. But the invasion is technically still going. I mean, they beat Kraang Prime, but they didn't really stop a single thing. Kraang Prime was honestly knocked out in the season finale, and they were able to escape. But I'm sure she'll be alive and well. She'll be up, and it's just like in that giant crazy metal suit she had, and they'll still be turning things crazy, and it might even spread throughout all of New York, and they might have to fight back in this new base that they're going to have in season 3. But it was an amazing season finale. A lot of it really, I think one of the greatest things about it is that I didn't expect much out of it. Going into it, it's like, it's going to be an invasion, but this really changed the game up for the entire series. It's not just going to be them doing what they do every time, every week in the city. They've lost their hideout. They lost Master Splinter. They've lost the city, really. So I cannot wait to see how crazy things get next year. But this is definitely a great season finale. It just blew the last one out of the water, and that was a great one too. But of course, comment below, let me know what you guys thought about it, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And with everything as crazy as it is, you got Kraang and the Shredder working together to take over the world. You have Master Splinter off on his own, Karai's still out there on her own. Leatherhead, I guess, is on his own too. Really, he's somewhere. And then you got the Turtles, Casey and April going off to, I believe we said New Hampton was the sign. So, what do you guys think is going to happen in season three? And of course, what do you guys think about this season finale? Was it better than the last one to you? Do you think the last one was better? What were your hopes for this, and did it live up to it, or did it exceed it? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.